everybody. Welcome to PatFacts. Happy 9th of December. Hope everyone's having a great evening and great afternoon. Just the first night in the virtual fitness, the POYB VFit group. Again, this episode of Fridays will be early access to the group. Again, there may be a few where I'll release them eventually to my general page, or at least clips of them. But you guys will have early access by at least a couple of weeks to these ones. So again, just to be a little more, provide a little more value for being a member of the group and subscribing. So thank you again to those who have. Looking forward to getting going with everybody. So again, just a reminder, because we're in a group, there should have been a kind of a link in the post where you can give StreamYard kind of access to your Facebook to comment. Otherwise, if you comment, it won't come up as you. It'll just come up as a user. And if you'd rather leave it that way, you can, or you can put your name or your initials, something, if you have any comments. But again, when you open the stream, there should have been a little blurb there saying to give StreamYard kind of access, still added as like a sub app to Facebook, so that you can comment, because as a group, there's different privacy kind of rules that they have. So that's why. Again, if you have comments, please feel free. If you can have anything to share or input, as always. But again, if you didn't click that little button at the beginning, just put your name or initials, or just be anonymous, and we'll have some fun with it that way. So again, just tonight, I wanted to just hop on and go through and get the kind of the notification set up, and just kind of get back into that routine of it, and look ahead to December, and again, kind of winning the rest of the year. We're in the home stretch. It's the 9th today, so we're just a few weeks left of 2020. And what I like to, hey Bonnie, thanks for commenting. Good to see you. Thanks for being here. What I'd like you to focus on, and Bonnie, you were with us, I believe, on Monday, is not so much counting down the days and waiting for 2020 to be over, because we all know it's been a rough year. It's been a long year, but it's gone quick at the same time. But there's been lots to deal with. But what I want you to focus on instead is making the most of these next few weeks. Make the most of the rest of 2020. Go into it with a good mindset, a positive mindset of growth and of change. Just the way we started 2020, when we had our kind of new year rollover, we had our new plans. And then maybe we did it again, or we started in March when things kind of first shut down and started. Hopefully we're still there. But if not, and if you're really just kind of counting down the days, now when you kind of you're supposed to go away and you kind of check out those last couple of days because you know the vacation's coming and that's really all you can think about. Let's try not to do that for 2021. Don't check out of 2020 because you're so looking forward to 2021, because hopefully it'll be, a much smoother year than this one was. Let's start now to put the steps in place to make sure it's a smooth year, because we create that for ourselves. So let's really focus on making the most of the rest of 2020. Whether that's, again, your goals you've been working towards, maybe new goals that you have, maybe, again, different things you want to improve on in the new year. But start now, at least the planning process. Ideally, you pick what you want to kind of accomplish in 2021, set that goal date, and then work backwards to today. And how can, hey, Brian, thanks for hopping on. Good to see you. Thanks for popping in. And then work backwards to today. What can I do today to set myself up for success? And we're already at, as we talk, it's 6 p.m. Eastern. So it's into the evening. But what we can do tonight to set ourselves up for success for tomorrow. So maybe tomorrow is that first step, that big step, but tonight is getting set up and putting things in place. So let's, thanks. I appreciate that. Appreciate the host. Let's think again ahead to what we've accomplished so far. And do we want to build on some of those goals? Do you want to continue on the path we've been on? Are we not quite at our goal yet? Do we set ourselves a goal maybe further down the road? And then if so, let's stay on track. Let's check in. Let's see how we're doing. And what can we do to keep things moving in that direction? If you haven't had a goal, or if you've sort of accomplished, maybe December was your goal date back in March, and if you're there or almost there, then again, now let's look ahead to that next goal. If you remember, if you've been with me a few months ago, I quoted Winston Churchill, who said that the path in front of you basically is always growing. You don't get to the end of it until you end. You get to the goal, but when you get to that goal, that shows you kind of a new horizon. It shows a next path, the next goal. So your path always lengthens out in front of you as you're moving forward. So if you're reaching that goal, then we should be on to the next goal and what we need to move on to. Hopefully you have an idea of that based on how you set the first goal, that maybe identified some other goals, or maybe you decided between a few goals, maybe you picked one of them. Now let's move on to that list and pick the next one. But again, if you don't have anything, then take a moment. What area can you really get better at? Whether it's fitness, whether it's health. Appreciate that, host. Thanks, buddy. If it's health, if it's finances, if it's stress management, if it's relationships, if it's personal or professional development, pick one thing that's going to make the most difference for you in your life, and focus on that goal first. That's going to make the most difference. As I mentioned before, as a fitness coach, that's what I'll do with clients. I'll pick the fitness goal, or if I do an assessment, I'll pick the result and look at areas where we need to make changes to give them the most benefit health-wise. So they may want to lose, say, 10 pounds, but I may see that their leg strength isn't so good. And okay, well, we need our leg strength to do our daily activities. So let's focus on that, and let's make that our kind of main concern. And that'll probably help that other goal that they have as well, the 10 pounds and feeling a little better. But I can tell from my assessment or talking with them that if we can do this goal, that makes them more operationally fit, which is my goal for my clients. I can make them more fit to do the day-to-day activities that they need to do. So by doing that, again, it makes the most difference for them health-wise, lifestyle-wise, and we probably at least start that kind of weight loss goal as that kind of example. So again, look at different areas of your life. And again, if you're not sure which area is the most important, but you've been trying to work on things, or you've worked on some things before, again, maybe it's the time to look into a coach where we can really sit one-on-one and get into those goals, whether it's, again, someone like me for fitness, if it's a business coach, if it's a financial coach, a relationship coach, whatever the case is. Find someone in that area that can help you and assist you. And that could be that next step for you, where maybe you've been doing great from March until now, and you want to take that next step and you're not quite sure where to go or what's next. Then again, someone who's gone through it is a great resource to have to help you pick the next steps. So let's look ahead. Again, it's the 9th, so we've just got a few weeks left. Let's make sure we look ahead to 2021. Let's set some goals now. What do we want to make 2021 mean for us? What do we want to make of ourselves in 2021? And then let's work backwards to tonight. And then again, tonight, very simple. And again, I've said this before, but it needs to be repeated to make it sort of habitual for you, to make sure some of you hear me in your head when you're cycling or walking. You hear my voice tell you to relax your shoulders, or to be straight, or to keep your pace up or something. But I want you to hear my voice now for things like this as well, to think, what can I do tonight to set me up for success tomorrow, to work towards that goal that's down the road? And that's how we have to think. And then those little day-by-day victories are what propel us forward. It's that snowball making a snowman. You start out with a small ball, you roll it through the snow, and each roll gets a little bit more snow there packed in, and it grows and grows and grows. The same idea. We don't have to start with a big boulder of a snowman. We start small, and as we roll forward, we gain momentum and we add to ourselves and grow and build that snowman, that base up. So think of it that way, just small steps at a time. Don't overwhelm yourself. And for a lot of people, as the new year approaches, again, they either have too many goals and they don't get through any of them, or they pick a goal and wait until the first to start because everyone else is kind of doing it, but they don't put the support systems in place, or they don't put their own systems in place to make sure that they have success. and then it doesn't work out, or they hit a roadblock and I'm not sure what to do because, again, they don't have systems in place. And then they kind of give up and quit and go, well, I can't do that. Maybe next year. And then they lose 355 days pretty much of not being better because they just thought, well, I'll do it next year. When again, it's not a, I've said before, it's not a 6-week thing. It's not an 8-week thing. It's not a 1-day thing. It's a lifestyle. It's from now until the end that we have to work on these things to improve ourselves and to get better. We should always want to be getting better. If not, then we need to find out why we don't feel that way and try to fix that so that we can work on being better versions of ourselves. So if you want to share them, I'd love to hear from you what your goals are for 2021, either here in the comments or if you're watching the recording. Hey, Kimmy, let's hear what those goals are for 2021. And just try to think, even just quickly here as we chat, what's one thing you can maybe do tonight to get yourself ready for tomorrow? If you want to drop that in the comments, we can share again, help each other grow here with this as well as we go forward. What we want to do, again, is think of our goals as being specific to us. We usually use a SMART acronym: specific, measurable, attainable, realistic, and timed. So we talked about timing, having that date. Don't just say, well, this year I want to do this. Pick a date. By July 1st, I want to blank. And be very specific with your goal. Don't just say, I want to run faster. Say, I want to cut 2 minutes off my 5K time. Or I want to do 12 laps of the track instead of 4. Or I want to run 12 instead of walking 10 and running 2 like I am now. Just be specific with your goal. That's the S. And then that, again, creates that clear picture. If you're just really general, it doesn't create that clear picture in your mind and give yourself that kind of target. It's like you're just kind of with your scope looking around for something, and you kind of throw a few things up and see what sticks. So be very specific with what you want. Again, measurable. What's that measurable goal? Is there an amount of weight you want to lose? Is there an amount of weight you want to be able to move and push? Is there a certain task you want to complete by a certain date? Is there certain movements you need to do? Be something very measurable that you can compare yourself now and then, but also along the way in those steps. It's attainable, so something that makes sense. You're not going to say like, I want to go to the moon this year, because this year it's probably not going to happen. Again, the way things are going, we could have that kind of travel, but right now it's not really there. So something that's kind of attainable. So then again, you kind of set yourself up for success. You want it to be challenging, but something that makes sense, something that works for you. Maybe going to the Olympics by the summer isn't going to work for you because maybe you're not quite at that Olympic level, or maybe your age doesn't really fit with typical Olympian athletes and different things. Maybe your health injury-wise wouldn't allow you to do that. But again, you can say, I want to run 100 meters, and I want to cut 2 seconds off my time, or a second off my time, or I want to run 12 laps of the track and be able to run the whole time, not run and walk like I am now. And then look at different ways to progress that and work through that. So you're specific, you're measurable, you're attainable, realistic. Again, just something that makes sense. I want to be able to run a marathon by Friday isn't realistic. Your body needs time, your mind needs time to prepare and train and get ready for things. So that's where the realistic part comes in. They kind of you can see how they kind of overlap each other within this. And then, like we mentioned, the time already, having that date, having that end date or that finish line of, by this date, I want to have accomplished this goal. Now, saying that doesn't mean everything is written in stone. So if your time has to be adjusted, something comes up, or you've discovered maybe that your goal maybe wasn't as specific as it should be. No, Kimmy, not tonight. I'm going through a couple changes. I'll update you for that. Just here for now, just in my private group with the virtual program, and then with the Twitch, looking at going with the subscription eventually as well. So that's why I'm here. But just in the private group, Sundays will be open on IG, but Wednesday, Friday will be in the private groups for going forward. So yeah, you want to, again, give yourself some of that understanding sometimes that maybe things will happen that will delay you. Maybe again, there's an injury. Maybe you hurt yourself training, so you can't meet that goal because you have to give yourself time to recover. So that's okay. Then we adjust the time, we adjust our schedule, our end date to make sense with what's going on in our lives. We try to make the time for ourselves as much as we can. It's kind of that fine line of not just saying, oh, okay, I'll put it off, I'll do it later, it's flexible, but knowing that, okay, there's a reason why I can't make this goal legitimately. Like there's something that's physically or keeping me from getting there. I have to adjust it. Or maybe I'm close, but I'm not quite there. So I'll have to give myself a bit more time because I've been working hard at it. And it just, just didn't work out, but I'm close. So let's give myself another couple of weeks to get there. And that's another point too, is with your goal setting. Again, give yourself that little bit of flexibility to move it up sometimes if we need to, because we're putting in the work, we're getting closer, but we know we're getting there, but we just need a bit more time. Maybe we just underestimated the time. And again, there's so many factors that come into how we reach our goals and how we train towards them and how we can attain them, that sometimes there's things we just can't control that happen. So that gives us that buffer. So it's nice to have that goal and that end line in mind so you can track your progress and know how you're doing. But at the same time, be understanding that if it doesn't work out for some strange reason, don't beat yourself up about it. Set a new date or reset, maybe replan, maybe set a new goal. Maybe your goal wasn't within that, again, that SMART acronym. Maybe it wasn't checking off all those boxes and it just was maybe a little bit out of left field, or just you thought you wanted something, but sometimes within training or goal setting, working towards something, you get into something else. Now, if you're with me a few weeks ago, I mentioned when I talked about personal development, when I went to school for kinesiology, teaching was my goal. That was what I wanted to do. And then I got into fitness for credentials, basically for more qualifications, and then really started to enjoy it and fall in love with the profession and taking courses in university for that. And then I switched over to more of that field. So you never know where things are going to take you, and there could be changes along the way that happen. Again, it's just a matter sometimes of letting those changes occur or understanding that they're part of the journey. Now, if you just say, well, I'm going to work out tomorrow, I'll give myself an extra day. I want to watch a movie instead, or I'm going to whatever, you kind of throw the day away, then that's a little bit different. So again, it's that fine line of understanding that, yes, I'm making progress, but the date was just wrong. I did something in my calculations wrong of my end date. I needed a bit more time, or this big thing came up that really impacted me, that delayed my progress. So I'm going to give myself a little more time. And again, not beat yourself up about it. And also, if you have bad days, we've talked about that before. Everybody has them. We all do. If you have them, it's okay. Have the bad day. But what I would like to encourage you to do is on those bad days, at the end of the day, just like I suggested for tonight, and I've suggested multiple times, take a few moments to set yourself up for success for tomorrow. What can I do? I have my gym clothes ready the night before. Do I have my desk laid out how I need it? Do I have all my documents and my resources that I need to work on ready to go? Do I have my meals made so I don't have to figure out what I'm going to eat in the morning or cook or prep during the day? Is just nice and quick that I can reach. Whatever you can do to sort of eliminate or diminish some of those roadblocks and obstacles, we'd like to do that on those bad days so that, again, the next day you have a good day. And on that good day, again, we start that momentum of building up, because we don't want the snowball to build negative momentum, which can happen as well. You don't want that bad day to turn into a bunch of days if you can help it. Again, sometimes it happens, but if it's multiple days and then into bad weeks and into bad months, then we're on that downward slope that we don't want to be in. So again, that's the goal, to try to think, you know what, I had a bad day today. I was tired, or I just wasn't feeling it, or things were just off and I just couldn't get into whatever it is I needed to be doing. Okay, I'm going to give myself today, I'm going to refocus. What can I do tomorrow? Maybe I get out my planner and I plan my day better. Again, maybe I get the materials ready that I need. Maybe I get my accountability partner and tell them, here's what I need to get done tomorrow. Let's check in midday. Let's check in at the end of the day and see how things are going. Again, different systems work for different people, so it's about finding what works for you. But bad days happen. accept it, kind of acknowledge it, and maybe even try to figure out what caused it. Maybe you didn't sleep well enough the night before. Maybe you didn't eat as clean as you would like to. Maybe something went on that caused a bit of tension or stress and anxiety. There could be different factors. So maybe try to get to the root of it. If you can get to the cause, then maybe you can figure out how to prevent it from happening next time, or at least minimize the occurrence of it. So maybe you can go from 5 bad days a month to 3 to 2 to once in a while, because you can look at the factors you can control, maybe look at some of the causes and try to minimize exposure to them, whether it's different people or groups or programs or different environments, whatever the case is. Look at what works best for you. And again, if you can find those causes, then hopefully you can minimize exposure to them to, again, minimize the bad days. And again, that sets us up for success. And that's what we need. A little bit of success, just a tiny bit each day, builds our confidence, builds our momentum, builds our self-esteem, builds our belief in ourselves that, yeah, I can do this. I can work towards this. I can take one little step every day and getting better. And again, for some of us, it's a very, very simple step to start. Maybe it's, again, just getting things ready. The night before, working on your next day prep, or getting a great night's sleep. Maybe it's having your routine where you have a shower before bed, or read your book, or whatever the case is, or when you get up in the morning. Again, just pick something, pick a step that's going to help you work towards your goal, and how can you set yourself up for success. And as I mentioned, if you can go through and complete it and reach a goal, then you've got a system. Yes, you reached a goal, you've accomplished something, that's great, but you have that journey, you have that system that helped you accomplish a goal. Now you take that system and now you apply it to the next goal. And that should make the next goal a little easier to attain, because you have the system in place. And you probably started to influence that goal working on that first goal, because we don't usually just have one thing. We're all kind of interconnected, and systems cross over. So there's a bit of that as well. But a big key will be having the system in place that you can follow. Now you have a system where you, say, lost weight that you want to lose. Excuse me. Now you want to be better at time management. Let's take some of that structure and system, and how can we apply that to getting better at time management? And then we've got a system in place, and we have to adjust it based on our goals and what we're working on. But the main idea of it, or the outline of it, should give us a framework that helps us work towards that next goal. And if nothing else, we have, again, the success and the journey. So take some time to acknowledge yourself when you reach those goals, to give yourself that, I'm going to say it, pat on your back for a job well done, for getting to that goal, for getting through the obstacles and working through them and solving problems, and getting through those days where you just didn't want to do it, or those bad days, and you got through them, you got back on track, and you got moving forward. Give yourself the credit. Too often we get to a goal, we're on to the next thing. And we always want to be improving. I said that about 10, 15 minutes ago. So we do want to go on to the next goal, but we do want to acknowledge the goal we just accomplished, and have a bit of time to acknowledge ourselves for, again, that job well done, and for what we've been working on and towards these past few weeks or few months, whatever the case is. So what I've started doing, and I need to be more consistent at it, but what I've started doing is I have a journal, basically a planner. It's called a high performance planner. So it kind of lays out a structure for me of the day, of here's the top 3 things I want to do. Here are the people I need to reach out to maybe get some things moving. And then it has an agenda kind of in the day. So I don't put everything in there, but I put some of my work times in there, or some projects I'm going to work on. This time block, I'm trying to block my time more, which has been shown to be highly successful people. That's what they do. They chunk their time. They block time. I'm going to work on this for this time, and be focused on this, which we've talked about before. Our focusing on one thing at a time. We think we can multitask and do a bunch of things, but we can't really. And when we can remember that and really focus on something, the quality of work comes up, and then we can put that aside and then move on to the next thing. So that's what I'm working on, is getting a little more consistent using that performance planner and writing things in, putting a bit of an agenda to it. And then I have that plan to follow through. When I do that, again, I get a lot more done in a lot less time, really, because I'm being more efficient with my time use because of my focus. So things we can work on. So again, try to think of strategies that work for you. I mentioned before, I had trouble with just general agendas. I switched to my phone calendar, and when I did, that was a big difference for me because the agenda didn't seem to work. Where this is, again, it's more of a planner, kind of a work plan, day planner, more so than just an agenda. So there's a few other steps to it. So I kind of use my main phone calendar still for my main schedules of work and appointments and meetings and things like this. So I know where I'm supposed to be when. But when I'm doing some work blocks, then I put those blocks into the agenda. So I know on my calendar it says work. And then when I open the planner, it says work on this. So I know what I'm doing. Then again, it gives me that plan and that structure and that system. And then again, I can focus on that work for an hour or so, get some good quality work out, and then I can take a little break and then go on to the next block. And then again, give that my focus because I had such good focus in block A that lets me focus really good on block B. I'm not thinking too much about A when I'm there because I've already accomplished what I needed to or had a good productive day. And then again, at the end of the day, I can ideally shut that off and then focus on being with family, being with friends, being with you guys on something like this, and not worrying about the other stuff I did or didn't do or how did I do it today. Because again, I get that good focus and quality of work. So again, just to kind of sum up and wrap up here, how can you make the most of these next few weeks of 2020 to go into 2021 already with that momentum? You've already added snow to the snowball. We're already rolling forward. Don't wait till January 1st to start a program or a goal setting. The best time to start is now. That's the best time. Oh, right now. That's the best time. Best time is now. No, now. That's the best time. Again, and it doesn't have to be very big. It could be goal setting. What am I going to do? When? Set that SMART goal. And what can I do tonight to set me up for success to get on that path tomorrow? And then you leave it for the night. You write it down, you set it aside, and then you've got a plan. Then your brain can kind of relax a bit because it knows, oh, tomorrow we're going to do this. So I can kind of leave it. I don't have to think about it all night because it's written down. So when I wake up, I can just read it and know what's going on. I don't have to remember what's going on with what I'm doing. So again, it puts us at rest and we sleep a little better. We get up more refreshed. We can focus more again. All these things tie in together with that. So how can you make the most of 2020 to get into 2021 on that right foot? You already have momentum. You're already rolling forward, building and growing. And then what are the systems you can put into place to help you have success and continue to move forward as we head into 2021? Again, if you have any questions or need some help with that, please feel free to reach out. I would love to give you a hand, give you some guidance, or again, if it's not something that's within my realm of expertise, then I can refer you to someone within my network that could help you, or I could help you find someone. If I don't have someone on my network, I probably know someone who knows someone that could help you with that. And again, with everything being so virtual now, it's not really 100% necessary that they're in your town. It could be someone, I know some of you aren't in Barrie, maybe someone I know here could help you because of virtual connections and things we have going on. Or again, they may know someone in your town that could help you do the same thing. So never be afraid to ask. That's how we get things going. And that's how we kind of get, again, that ball rolling is sometimes with a question or can you help, or how do I get this, or do you know someone? Some of those things will lead to some good answers to get that momentum going. So again, I'd love to hear from you in the comments or in the DMs. If you don't want to share it with everybody, I understand. Again, the group, the Facebook group and the Instagram group are the membership-based group. So it's just people that are paying for the membership that have subscribed that'll have access to that. It won't be out in public that way. Again, with the Twitch, we're working towards that platform as well. I'm just getting a couple of things done. So that's it for tonight, gang. Again, feel free to reach out if you have any comments or questions. We'll get things rolling here. The fitness classes are getting started. We're going to go tomorrow morning, so hopefully you can all make it. If you missed it, again, I did launch last week what I was going to do for the virtual fitness platform. If you missed it, just send me a DM and I can send you the video for that or the link to it to see what all it entails, so you can see if it's a good fit for you. And then, as always, if you have any questions about it, we can definitely chat some more. So enjoy it, everybody. Again, stay safe. Let's dial up that self-care. Let's take really good care of ourselves right now. Things are still climbing as far as numbers and cases and incidents with this pandemic. So let's counteract it with that positivity pandemic that we talked about back in April. Let's keep that going. Let's keep that moving. Let's dial up our self-care. Let's take really good care of ourselves so that we can help care for those around us. So remember, always make yourself the priority you deserve to be by striving to be operationally fit. Thanks, guys. Stay safe and take care, and we'll talk to you again soon.